Yeah, then you can. Maybe I can sit on an angle.
And then there's a wave in the screen, so the screen's waving.
Shall we start?
Yeah.
All right, it's okay, it's okay. Are we doing the perfection of wisdom? All right, so I'm going to put the prayer on the screen. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. We're going to start today with the recitation of the perfection of wisdom. I just want to find, let's see where it is.
Page 3 for us in here.
Just a second.
These 4 have been blown for months.
Okay, there it is.
because that light now doesn't, like the banners created this. Yeah. These have been blown since before the shows. That's why it's so dark. No, those 4 there. Oh, I mean, look, you can see on the comments. Oh, hang on, no, these ones work. It's only these 4 that don't work. Oh, that's yes. You're not on. Yeah, so it's only these 4 that haven't been working.
All right.
I prostrate, we are in a
Triple gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagavan was dwelling on the massive Vajra mountains in Rajgir together with a great community of monks and a great community of Bodhisattvas. Then the Bhagavan was absorbed in concentration in the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding the 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stains, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition of factors, no consciousness. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so after no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on the dwelling perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear, having completely passed beyond error to reach the end point of Nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also completely awaken to the unsurpassable, complete enlightenment, reliance on the perfection. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of the great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known in truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Tata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisoha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. When one was from that concentration, commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan having thus spoken, Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Lord. Chonam la chanchu badu dani kapsuchi dagi chingi betsonangi dola penchi sangye dropa sho chodan soki chonam la chanchu badu dani kapsuchi dagi chingi betsonangi dola penchi sangye dropa sho chodan soki chonam la chanchu badu dani kapsuchi Dagi Chingi Betsonangi Dola Penchi Sange Are you right? Okay. Can I get a permission to record? All right. Sorry, Sonia, I'm giving you permission to record. Just a second, just a second. Hi, Madhu. Sonia, and Sonia. Allow record. All right, allow record. Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. I can hear myself. Okay, thank you very much, Judith. So, what I thought of doing today was to go back to the chart that I displayed yesterday of the different bodies of Buddha. And on top of that, just to let you know that the chart is now on your Dropbox. So you can also go to, I'll show you where it is on the Dropbox. Created a folder for that. So if you go to your Dropbox folder, we have the folder for public access. Then you have folder number 7, other materials, commentaries, etc. You go to that. I created a folder called charts. And we have this chart here in this folder. So I wanted to go to this chart. I also wanted to, to add some more details and also to connect it with the discussion that we had yesterday with respect to the word Sugata. Also, if anyone has any questions, for those of you at home, for those people here, if you have any questions, we can discuss them. There's some other things that I thought of introducing as we go, which is the definitions of bodhicitta, the man of enlightenment, the relative man of enlightenment, the ultimate man of enlightenment. I assume that Geshe will speak about them in the next few weeks, but I thought that it's good to start looking at definitions, at least to look at it, how you approach that topic from a kind of, I guess, philosophical perspective in the way that you find definitions in Buddhist manuals. So, and another thing that I thought of doing was to look at the Bodhisattva vow. So, as I said yesterday, when we get to chapter number 3, there's a section of fully upholding, fully embracing the mind of enlightenment. So you can, first of all, fully take up the aspiring mind of enlightenment, and then you take up the engaging mind of enlightenment, which means that you take up the engaging vow, the Bodhisattva vow. So when we speak about the Bodhisattva vows in English, it is a bit confusing because the translation speaks of vows in plural, but in an actual fact, it's only one vow. Bodhisattva vow is only one vow that has many different branches. There are many different things that you can abstain from that are not given as separate vows. The Bodhisattva vow is given only as one vow. And if certain conditions are met, then you break the vow or you lose the vow. If other conditions are met, then only you could say that the vow is damaged, but you're still in possession of the vow, although it is damaged. So I thought that it's also a good opportunity to look at what the Bodhisattva vow is. What are the 18 root downfalls? Well, I don't know if we'll get to the 46 secondary offenses, but what I thought of, maybe in each session, we'll try to cover at least one of the 18 root downfalls as we go, so that for those of you who haven't taken the Bodhisattva vow before, then you'll know what you're into. For those of you who've taken the Bodhisattva vow before, you'll know what you're into, so that you could get it in a better way. I mean, it's also helpful for me to be reminded of those things. So, so that's what I thought of doing in the next few weeks. But first thing first, I'm wondering if before I go into yesterday's chart, I am wondering if you guys at home, or you guys here, have any questions? If you have any questions, then you can put your hand up in the participant box, or you can you can unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can write a question on the chat and I will read it out. So if you have any questions, we can begin with that. All right, so it seems that there are no questions. So let's go back to the chart that I created yesterday of the Buddha bodies. All right, so just to briefly recap what I said yesterday, we have two bodies of Buddha. There is the Dhamma body, that's on the left-hand side of the chart, and the form body of Buddha. They're called the Dhammakaya and the Rupakaya. Also, although they're called bodies, they're not physical body, they are a collection of different things, different qualities of Buddha. So when one becomes Buddha, they attain those bodies at the same time. Right? Those two bodies, or those two sets of qualities, are accomplished at the same time. So on one hand, we have qualities that pertain to the mind of the Buddha. The Dhamma, they're called the Dhammakaya, right? So all the things that come under the section of the Dhammakaya, they are a collection of qualities of the mind of the Buddha. Then we have the other side, which is the form body of Buddha. It is called in Sanskrit the Rupakaya. And there are different things in the Rupakaya. There are persons, Buddha that is a person, and Arya Buddha that is included in this section, but also other things, like, for example, roads, bridges, those different things that Buddhas manifest as. But what you say that, for example, I'm just going to raise this doubt. If a Buddha manifests as a bridge, is that Buddha as person? Is that a person?
No, Buddha as a Rupakaya, is that right?
Yeah, if the Buddha is a Rupakaya, if the Buddha is an emanation body, is that a person? You say yes? All right, so is a bridge a person?
No.
A Buddha bridge is a person. Is a Buddha manifested as bridge a person? So Steve, hi Steve. Is Steve saying define person? Well, the definition of person in Buddhist terminology is the being imputed upon any of the five aggregates. So we have our five aggregates as persons. So we have the form aggregate, feeling, discrimination, composition of factor, consciousness. So, I mean, it's an open-end question. I think that you can say that there is, if it's a bridge, is it a form body?
Yeah.
So can you impute a Buddha on a bridge?
Not any bridge.
No.
Not any bridge.
No.
The Yudlo bridge?
No.
Well, maybe the Yudlo bridge is an emanation of Buddha. Who knows? Well, I think probably you can call a bridge, a Buddha emanated as a bridge, a person. Maybe there is a form aggregate, and onto that form aggregate you impute Buddha. But in order to know that it's Buddha, you need to be probably another Buddha. You know, how would I know that this is Buddha? So it's not my mind that is going to impute Buddha onto it. Anyway, don't get too concerned about this question. It's just like one of those really obscured points that came up to my mind. So, so we have the Rupakayas. In the Rupakayas, two types of bodies of Buddha. We have Sambhogakaya, which is a utility body. And then we have emanation body, Nirmanakaya. So, by the way, just to add something to it, an emanation body is called in Tibetan Tuku. So we hear about Tukus, right? We have this Tuku and the other Tuku. So I think that the idea behind the word Tuku is that you have those really revered masters, those high lamas, or no, they don't have to be high lamas, no, high or secondary level. In some sense, you're supposed to see them as emanations of Buddhas manifesting for you to give you teachings as your own spiritual teacher, because we don't have the capacity to see a Buddha in actuality. We haven't purified enough karma to see a Buddha as Buddha. So they manifest to us in the form of spiritual teachers. So in the Tibetan tradition, this Tuku, recognizing Tuku, speaking about Tukus, those who are emanation bodies, that tradition has started. Does it mean that every person that is called a Tuku, an emanation body, is indeed an emanation body? It is likely that probably not everyone that is called a Tuku is an emanation of Buddha. However, who am I to know who is and who is not an emanation of Buddha? They get this title. It does not necessarily mean that they are an emanation of Buddha. Anyway, that's another point on this side. Let's go back to the chart. So we have two Rupakayas, two form bodies. We have the Sambhogakaya, utility body, and emanation body. So the utility body and enjoyment body of Buddha, the Sambhogakaya, is a body that only Arya Bodhisattvas see. It's a body of those that not only have developed uncontrived bodhicitta, but on top of that, they have a perceptual realization of emptiness. And they've reached at least the Mahayana path of seeing. They're at least on the Mahayana path of seeing. So only those people can see a Sambhogakaya. I cannot see a Sambhogakaya. There's no way that I can see it. So Sambhogakaya, if you wonder what's the difference then in terms of definition between Sambhogakaya on one hand and the emanation body on the other hand, well, the difference between them, I'm just going to say briefly, Sambhogakaya is, the definition of a Sambhogakaya is a form body of Buddha, which has the 5 certainties. They have 5 definite attributes. Nirmanakaya, on the other hand, is a form body of Buddha, but they don't have those 5 certain attributes. So what are those attributes? The attributes are, first of all, the body. So a Sambhogakaya has a body with all the signs and marks of Buddha.
When we do the dissolution of the death dissolution, and we first manifest the Dharmakaya, truth body, and then once we don't hold that, we move through the Vada, and there's a Sambhogakaya. And they often say that isn't a form of a seed cylinder. So is that the body?
Well, it is taken. So the question is, I'm just going to repeat the question for the people at home. So Dechen is asking about doing the dissolution process when you meditate on a Hatha Yoga Tantra practice. You do the dissolution process, and you're supposed to be meditating on taking death onto the path to the Dhammakaya. Then you meditate on taking the intermediate state onto the path to the Sambhogakaya. And normally in that section, there are different things that are happening. You rise as a seed syllable, then it transforms into an implement. But now when you think about Yamantaka, for example, now I'm not familiar with other Hatha Yoga Tantra practices, but with Yamantaka, for example, when you go through the dissolution process and you meditate on emptiness in relation to that, then you're supposed to be thinking at the end of the dissolution process that you now have a mind that realizes emptiness. This is a Buddha's Dhammakaya that realizes emptiness. So you think yourself, I am that Buddha mind that realizes emptiness. So that's the Dhammakaya part. Then when you take the intermediate state onto the path of the Sambhogakaya, there are different things that happen, but at the end of the process, you arise as Manjushri. You arise as Manjushri sitting in a celestial mansion. So that form of Manjushri is a Sambhogakaya. So Manjushri has all the major marks and minor signs of Buddha. So often when we look at depictions of different deities, they have those crowns and a crown protrusion and so forth. It is a Sambhogakaya form. Whether or not all those paintings in a Tanka, all those Tanka paintings, would have all the 32 major marks and 80 minor signs, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they would have. But a Sambhogakaya form in general would have all the major marks and all the minor signs of Buddha.
That's in the Nirmanakaya.
No, that's a Sambhogakaya. Then in the Nirmanakaya.
Don't you manifest as the syllable D?
Well, in the process of arising into Yamantaka, at some point you arise, there is the rising of the seed syllable, then it transforms into the hand implement. But then at the end of the process, you arise as Manjushri, and that's the Sambhogakaya. So, you rise into the Sambhogakaya in a sequence.
Okay, so you have many different sorts of bodies in the Sambhogakaya.
Yeah.
A few different bodies.
Yeah, you have, Sambhogakaya form of Maitreya, of Tara, of Chenrezig, all Buddhas manifest in different ways to Arya Bodhisattvas and teach them Dhamma in that way. Yeah, so a Sambhogakaya Buddha has a definite body with major marks and minor signs of Buddha. On top of that, they have the certain abode. So the abode, the realm that Sambhogakaya manifests is Akanishta. This is how it is called, Akanishta. The certain retinue, the definite retinue that they have is solely Arya Bodhisattvas. That's the third certain feature. Only Arya Bodhisattvas. They appear only to Arya Bodhisattvas. Of course, other Buddhas can see them, but a Sambhogakaya wouldn't appear to us. Only to Arya Bodhisattvas. This is the certain retinue. Then they have the feature of the certain Dhamma that they teach. The Dhamma that they teach to those Arya Bodhisattvas is only the Mahayana Dhamma. That's the feature of Dhamma, right? The Mahayana Dhamma. And then there's the feature of time or duration. So they remain in that state until all samsara is emptied of sentient beings. So for as long as samsara goes on, Sambhogakaya form will still continue to teach Arya Bodhisattvas, so that it's almost like empowering them to still enact the welfare of sentient beings. This is how I kind of look at it. It's more like they still give teachings to Arya Bodhisattvas so that Arya Bodhisattvas can still continue to in their spiritual development, so that they can still continue to turn the wheel of Dhamma. So do they teach in all the pure realms carry us? Sambhogakaya form teaches only in Akanishta. Right? Only in Akanishta.
Akanishta, a pure realm?
Yeah, Akanishta is a pure realm. It's a Buddha field. How do you spell Akanishta? Let me, I'll... I'll put it on the board. Just a second. Where is it?
It's a pure realm.
Pure realm.
So what are you saying? There's only one pure realm? only one pure realm of the Sambhogakaya.
Yeah, Buddhas can manifest in many different pure realms, but the Sambhogakaya aspect of Buddha is in Akanishta.
So I always saw Buddha more as an umbrella term than a specific term. You know, like there's many different Buddhas.
Yeah, there are many different Buddhas. Actually, it's really interesting. Kind of, when you think of what Buddha means to you, what's a Buddha for you? We often think of Buddha as being a person, right? It's like Buddha Shakyamuni, for example. We have here a statue of Buddha Shakyamuni. So we think of Buddha as person, but actually many different things are Buddha. So the body of Buddha is Buddha. So the fingernail of Buddha is Buddha. The speech of Buddha is Buddha. The mind of Buddha is Buddha. The person that has that body, speech, and mind is Buddha. So many different things are called Buddha. So then, if you wonder, why are they called Buddha? Why is the body of Buddha Buddha? Why is the speech of Buddha Buddha? There are different explanations of that, but I think that Chuki began, her discussion in speaking of the word Sangye in Tibetan, which is the word for Buddha. The word consists of two syllables, Sang and Gye, and as Chuki said, Sang is to remove all the stains, all the faults, all problems, all obscurations, afflictions, afflictive obscurations, cognitive obscurations, all of that have been cleared away. That's the first syllable, Sang. The second syllable is Gye, and Gye is an expansion, an increase in good qualities, in knowledge, in realizations, not to an utmost extent. So the body of Buddha, similarly, is a body that is Sangye, in that all faults have been removed and all positive qualities have been fully developed. The speech of Buddha is exactly like that. The fingernail of Buddha has removed all fault. It's something that in which no fault exists and all positive qualities have been developed. Now you wonder, how is it that the fingernail of Buddha is something that in which all faults have been removed and all positive qualities have been developed? Well, for a Buddha, we have a union of body and mind. Wherever there is a Buddha body, there you will also find a Buddha's mind. It's not only in the Tantric tradition, it's also in the Sutra tradition, which means that the fingernail of Buddha realizes all phenomena. It's not like us. My fingernail doesn't realize anything. But for a Buddha, the fingernail of a Buddha realizes all phenomena. The hair of the Buddha realizes all phenomena. So everything
brings you back to the bridge.
Sorry?
It brings you back to the bridge.
Yeah, so a bridge, Buddha emanating as a bridge, realizes all phenomena, but still, who am I to know if the Udlo bridge realizes all phenomena or not? How would I know? So then a question comes up: is all of reality not a Buddha? Jason, I don't understand your question completely. If you could write it again.
If you try to go to Amitabha Pure on that question.
All right. So Kerry asks, so if you pray to go to Amitabha Pure realm, can you visit the other realm and get teaching still? I don't know. If Amitabha is the Pure Land, if Dewachen or Sukhavati. Sukhavati is the Pure Land of Amitabha. If you're born there, I assume that you're not in Sukhavati. You see Amitabha, it's not like a bad deal. I think that it's a really good deal. But it is said that Bodhisattvas make prayers not to be born in Sukhavati, but to be born in our realm in order to study the Dhamma and still enact the welfare of living beings. So the assumption that is made is that if you are born in a pure realm, such as Sukhavati, the pure land of Amitabha, then for you as an ordinary sentient being is a temporary reprieve from suffering. Right? So you go on holidays, probably not a cruise ship. It seems that now going on a cruise ship is not a good thing to do. But you go on holidays. But at some point, it seems that if you're still an ordinary being, you will still still have to do the work yourself. I think that I've heard in previous teachings that there are some implications that maybe also in the Amitabha pure realm, you can still study the Dhamma, you can still practice, but you know, I don't know much about it, so it's probably best to ask qualified master that will have a better answer.
Yeah, no, that's my understanding.
All
That
right.
you can reach enlightenment in Amitabha pure realm.
I think that there are different statements, there are different references to Amitabha and what is, sorry, to Sukhavati, Amitabha's Pure Land, and what you can do in the Pure Land, but I don't know enough about it to kind of to explain it clearly. All right, so let's go back to this chart. So Sambhogakaya has those 5 certain qualities. Nimanakaya doesn't have those qualities. It's still a Buddha body. It is still a form body. There is still a person, but without those 5 certain qualities. This is the difference between Sambhogakaya and Nimanakaya, the enjoyment body and emanation body. And also, as I said yesterday, there are different types of Nimanakaya. Now, it is said that form bodies for the benefit of others, in that when you think of working for the sake of others, if we work for the sake of others, we will do that through teaching them the Dhamma, through helping out in whatever way we can. So you need a body in order to do that. Sentient beings needs, most of them need something physical in order to be aided by others. So form body is said to be for the benefit of others, whereas the Dhamma body, the Dhammakaya, is for one's own welfare. One's own benefit. I mean, Dhammakaya is, so when we look at the Dhammakaya, we have the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya. That's a Buddha's mind. So our mind will become the Dhammakaya in that we will have perfect realizations. We will have realized all phenomena exactly as they are, but not only that, we would also have fully developed compassion, fully developed love, fully developed patience, fully developed ethical discipline, fully developed joyous effort. So all those good qualities, all those virtuous qualities will be developed to an utmost extent, and all of them would be the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya. All of them would be consciousnesses of Buddha.
Which again, I would assume is what you were referring to before, the Sambhogakaya, that it's a process.
What do you mean?
It's not just a, it comes back to the principle of dependent arising, cause and effect, that, as you get closer to the Dhammakaya, say in the dissolution process, and then you actually get there, at some stage it then becomes a Dhammakaya body, and you stay in that body potentially for up to 3 days. Now, I don't think you're just in a static, a still state. You are purifying, you are developing, you are, you're still.
So I think that there's a bit of confusion here. So, so Dechen, Venerable Dechen is speaking about what you do in a tantric practice, whereas here we're studying it from a sutra perspective. So in a high yoga tantra practice, you meditate on transforming yourself into Buddha, and you do it in stages. So you take death onto the path of the Dhammakaya, you take the Bado state onto the path of the Sambhogakaya, and you take death and birth onto the path of the Nimanakaya. So you do it in stages. But when you become a Buddha, it's not done in stages. You attain all the bodies in one, all at once. All at once in a sense that, sorry? You don't become a Buddha like that. Of course, it takes 3 great countless eons from a sutra perspective, but when you become a Buddha, then you attain for the first time the Buddha Dhammakaya, for the first time the Buddha Sambhogakaya, and for the first time the Buddha's Nimanakaya. They are attained at the same time. So it's not a process. There is a process that you follow in getting all the causes and conditions for the result to arise. But once the result arises, the bodies of Buddha arise at the same time. So just to add to that, since kind of we're speaking about it. So before becoming Buddha, Bodhisattvas can already send emanations. So when a Bodhisattva attains the path of seeing, they attain what is called the first ground. They have the ability to send forth 100 emanations. Then when they attain the second ground, they have the ability, to send, I think 1,200 emanations. Then each ground that they follow, that they proceed, it is multiplied by 10. So Bodhisattvas have the ability to send emanations to all different realms, not only to this realm of us, our realm, but also to other worldly systems. So they already have those lots of emanation, bucket loads of emanations everywhere. And when they go from the 10th ground, they proceed from the 10th ground to become Buddhas, then all their emanations at the same time become Buddhas. It's really mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's, in order to practice Tantra, you have to have a solid foundation and understanding of Sutra. So it's not that big a difference. It's just that it's accelerated when you get to Tantra. But I see the point you're making.
All right, so let's continue with that. There is a question here. The exalted knowledge of Dhammakaya is all these perfect realizations spanning the past, present, and future. All right, so I don't understand what the meaning of spanning the past, present, and future, but I'll still say something about it, because I can. So we have the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya. Well, let's look at the Dhammakaya in general. How do I move it? Okay. Sorry. All right, so we have the Dhammakaya. And I'll connect it also with Geshe-la's class from today. So the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya is the mind of Buddha. Now, it is said that the mind of Buddha realizes the past, the present, and the future. So when I go back to the question if the question is it's spanning in the past, present, and future, does it exist in the past, present, and future? Well, it exists. You can say that it has existed in the past, it exists now, and it will exist in the future. But it still has the qualities of knowing past, present, and future. I mean, it's still a question. There's still questions and queries that will come up in relation to that. Like, for example, if a Buddha knows the future, is my future determined? Can I not change my future? Well, the Buddha knows the fruition of karma, for example. The Buddha knows all the permutation of karma, in that if I act in this way, it will lead me to this type of rebirth. If I act in another way, it will lead me to another type of rebirth. If I take this action in a future rebirth, it will result in a certain type of suffering or pleasure, but still, I have the ability to change it. So a Buddha knows all maturations of karma in the future. The Buddha knows all maturations of karma in the past and also in the present. But it doesn't mean to say that I cannot change my karma. I can still change my karma. And the Buddha knows all those different permutations of karma. Yeah. Yeah, so long as it hasn't come to fruition. Yeah. So I want to connect it with what we've discussed today. So we have the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya. It's the enlightened mind of Buddha. So an enlightened mind of Buddha not only realizes emptiness of all phenomena, but it realizes everything that exists. But as I said yesterday, the most crucial knowledge that a Buddha has that can be used in order to benefit living beings is the disposition of sentient beings. You know, a Buddha knows each and every one of us and knows how to give teachings that are suitable to our particular disposition. So that is the quality of the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya. Then you have the essence kaya, which Geshe-la mentioned today, and this is the emptiness of the mind of Buddha. It's also a Dhammakaya, right? It's not a mind, it is the emptiness of the mind. So let's make things more complicated.
Yeah.
If we can, why not? So we have our mind at the present, right? So before we continue with that, so Yana is asking, so the Buddha knows my potential karma? Yes, the Buddha knows that. The Buddha knows all, and one of the knowledges that is unique to Buddha is knowing all the ins and outs of karma, in a sense that karma is considered to be an extremely hidden phenomena. There are phenomena that are obvious, phenomena that are manifest. Those phenomena we can see with the eyes. I can see Venerable Chuki and Maggie and so forth. They are manifest to me. They are evident to me. I don't need to rely upon a conceptual consciousness to realize them. I have an eye, for example, that sees them. Then we have things that are subtle, more subtle. They are hidden phenomena. I need to rely upon reasons in order to realize them. Like, for example, if I see smoke coming out of the mountain range, then I can infer that there is fire over there. So there are phenomena that are hidden to me. I don't see the fire, but I can infer that because there is smoke over there, there is fire over there. But similarly, I can also look at something that is more relevant to us. We want to realize emptiness. We want to realize selflessness, and we need to rely upon reasons. So currently, selflessness is hidden to us. We don't see it directly, perceptually. But if we use reasons, we can come to realize it. It is hidden, but it can be realized by us. Then there are things that are extremely hidden to us. We can realize them, but we can realize them through scriptures, through believing the teachings of the Buddha. So the Buddha spoke about karma. He said that from certain actions, results will arise. But knowing, for example, if I kill an ant in this life, that it will result in great suffering in my next life, in a particular scenario, it is only for a Buddha to know. Only a Buddha knows that kind of thing. We cannot know that. For us, it is extremely hidden. We can gain an understanding of the working of karma, which is also very hidden in reliance upon a teaching of a Buddha, but there will always be this level of understanding that only a Buddha will have. So let's go back to making it complicated. So we have a mind, right? Currently, our mind is empty of inherent existence. Do you agree? Is a mind empty of inherent existence? Is emptiness a feature of our mind? Is it a quality of our mind? What about you guys at home? Do you agree that emptiness is a quality of our mind? Is it a feature of our mind? It is the nature of mind. Yeah, it is the nature of mind. It is a feature of our mind. It is a quality of our mind. So a mind's emptiness of inherent existence depends upon the mind. It is related to the mind, right? If we have no mind, the emptiness of the mind will not exist. So in philosophical terms, we say that currently, because our mind is together with afflictions, we get angry, we have pride, we get jealous, we become attached to different things, then the emptiness of our mind is together with these obscurations. It is together with afflictive states of mind. You can say that the emptiness of our mind is like covered by those afflictive states of mind. But we can go through a process of purification. We purify anger, attachment, and so forth. We can deal, first of all, with manifest form. We can put a stop to them with meditations that many of us are familiar with. We can put a stop to manifest form of anger when we meditate on loving kindness and patience. We can put a stop to manifest forms of attachment if we meditate on the unattractive aspects of an object, the object of our attachment. So we can deal with manifest levels. Then we can go deeper and eliminate the potentials for those afflictive states of mind to the point in which they will never arise again. So we have the emptiness of our mind at the present. It is together with afflictions, but we can go through a process of purification in which that emptiness will no longer be with afflictions. Now, if you wonder, what am I getting at? Let's go back to the chart and see what I'm getting at. What am I getting at? So this is what the essence sky is about. So we have currently the emptiness of our mind, which is together with obscurations. The mind is together with afflictions. It is together with cognitive obscurations, but we go through a process of purification. And once all obscurations are eliminated, we have abandoned anger, attachment, ignorance completely. And on top of that, we will have abandoned all of cognitive obscuration. The emptiness of our mind will become the essence kaya. Our mind will become the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya. Right? So again, I'll say it again. The emptiness of our mind will become the essence kaya of Buddha. Our mind will become the Dhammakaya. Now, when I say our mind will become the Dhammakaya, I say it in general. We have, for example, in our mind now, we have anger. Anger is also one of our minds. Anger will not become a Dhammakaya. We will eliminate anger. We will develop positive qualities. We will develop knowledge, and they will become the Dhammakaya. And the emptiness of our mind will become the essence kaya. So, why am I saying that? I'm saying that in relation to the word Sugata that we spoke of in Geshe-la's class for today. So I want to put the text on the screen, if I can. All right. So we spoke about the first two lines in verse number 1. Respectfully, I pay homage to the Sugatas who are endowed with the Dhammakaya. So the word Sugata, the term Sugata, sorry, I moved. Sorry, just a second, guys. Okay. I pushed the projector cable, so we're waiting for the projector in Agompa to present it. Just a second. Just a second, guys. One, two. Let's see if it works now. All right, we're on. So let's look at the text again. So it says the term Sugata can be related to the qualities of abandonment and to qualities of realizations. That's what the text says. Then there is explanation of the qualities of excellent abandonment, and then according to excellent realization. So where do they fit within the previous chart? Let's look at the previous chart. Chart. I think I've closed it. Sorry, just a second. Okay. So we have the Dhammakaya. When we become Buddhas and we attend the Dhammakaya, the exalted knowledge Dhammakaya becomes perfect realization. In a sense that each and every moment of a Buddha mind is a realizing mind. There's no consciousness of Buddha that is not a realizing consciousness. It is a perfect realization of all phenomena in their extent, and all phenomena exactly as they are. So this is the perfect realization that we speak of, the exalted knowledge Dharmakaya. Then we have also perfect abandonments. So along the stairs of the path, we abandon anger, attachment, and so forth. We abandon afflictive obscurations, and we abandon cognitive obscurations. So these two are grouped together in what we call true cessations. The essence kaya is a consummate true cessation. So all those perfect abandonments are actually the essence kaya. Perfect abandonment is the essence kaya. Essence kaya is a perfect abandonment. It is the emptiness of mind of Buddha, in which all obscurations without exception have been eliminated. Right? So since the essence kaya is the perfect abandonment, and the exalted knowledge Dharmakaya is perfect realization, then these have those certain qualities that Getza Dhamma Rinchen mentions. Now, at home during the break, I tried to put them in a table. I'm not sure that that's the right format. I'll put it on the screen. Maybe I'll think about it today if there's another way of presenting it in a better way. But for the time being, let's look at what I've done myself. All right. So we have the word sugata, which is a word in Sanskrit. In Tibetan, it's called deshek or dewar shekpa. Tibetan language works with syllables, so deshek is a contraction of dewar shekpa. Now, the meaning of de or dewar is bliss, happiness, ease, well, and shekpa is gone. So in English, sometimes we say that sugata is one who has gone to bliss. But also, Getza Dhamma Rinchen says that it's one that has gone well. So what does it mean, one that has gone well, one that has gone to bliss? Well, we'll look at it from the perspective of qualities of abandonment and qualities of realizations. And the way that Getza Dhamma Rinchen explains that, he says, let's look at those qualities of perfect abandonment. Perfect abandonment and qualities of perfect realization. And the way that Getza Dhamma Rinchen does that, he is in comparing it with those who are not Buddhas. So this side of the table, the things that are found in red font, refer to the qualities of Buddhas. So we compare Buddhas with non-Buddhist, with Hinayana Arya trainees, which means they are Hinayana people, hears and solitude realizes, that have perceptually realized selflessness, but they haven't become arhat yet. They're on the path of seeing or on the path of meditation. And then we have Hinayana Arhats. So Getza Dhamma Rinchen says, Sugata are those who have perfect abandonments and perfect realizations. Let's compare them to non-Buddhist Hinayana Arya trainees and Hinayana Arhats and see how these non-Buddhas are not like, they don't have those qualities of perfect abandonments and perfect realizations. So when we compare Buddhas having qualities of perfect abandonments with non-Buddhist, then Buddhas have exhaustively abandoned afflictive obscurations. Non-Buddhists haven't exhausted or haven't abandoned afflictive obscurations. So we have non-Buddhist practitioners. There could be Hindu practitioners or practitioners of other religions. They could be practicing no religion whatsoever, but they could still cultivate calm abiding, shamatha. Right? Shamatha is not only a Buddhist practice, it is also practiced in Indian traditions, but also I think that people now at this day and age can practice shamatha without any spiritual affiliation, so long as they have the prerequisite of ethical discipline and they can attain shamatha. So when they attain shamatha, they get an access to a higher realm mind. And then on that basis, they can develop dhyanas, absorptions. They can proceed to a higher and higher level of absorption. And they can develop also special insight, which is not special insight that realizes emptiness. It realizes other things, not emptiness. So they can have special insight. They can have shamatha. But still, and through, sorry, and using that special insight at shamatha, they can suppress afflictions. They can prevent temporarily afflictions from becoming manifest. But they're not like Sugatas because they haven't reached perfect abandonment. They've just suppressed afflictions. They haven't abandoned them. So in that sense, Buddhas are doing better. They have a better abandonment comparing to non-Buddhist. Now, the second thing that Gyatso Dhamma Rinchen does is comparing those qualities of abandonments with those of Hinayana Arya trainees. So you have those Hinayana Arya trainees, and the different stages of development for Hinayana trainees. There are those Hinayana trainees that are called stream enterer. There are those that are called returners. When you study Maitreya's ornament for clear realization, there is a section that explains the 20 types of Sangha members, which is actually explaining the 20 types of progression along the Hinayana path. So some levels of progression are called returner, stream enterer, approaching the result, attaining the results. Different scenarios for those Hinayana practitioners. So altogether, as they progress along their stages of the path, they remove certain levels of obscurations. Buddha's obscurations surpass that. Buddha's abandonments surpass their removing of different levels of obscurations, because Hinayana Arhats can start to accumulate those true cessations, but they're still born in samsara. They're still born in samsara under the influence of karma and afflictions, and until they eliminate cognitive obscurations, they will still be born in samsara. So until they eliminate afflictive obscurations, they will still be born in samsara. So I'll show that again on the board, on the screen. So Buddhas have gone beyond falling into cyclic existence through the power of the afflictions. Hinayana Arya trainees are still being born in samsara because of the afflictions. So therefore, Buddha's Sugatas perfect abandonment surpass those of Hinayana trainees. Then I'm just going to wrap it up with Hinayana Arhats, those that have completely eliminated their afflictive obscurations. Hinayana Arhats have eliminated cognitive obscurations, but they still have, other way around. So Hinayana Arhats have eliminated afflictive obscurations, that's what I should have said. They've eliminated afflictive obscurations, but they are still in possession of cognitive obscurations. So qualities of perfect abandonments of Buddhas are perfect abandonments of the two sets of obscurations, afflictive and cognitive obscurations. Hinayana Arhats haven't eliminated all of them. They've eliminated only afflictive obscurations. So because of that, we also say that in terms of perfect realizations, comparing perfect realizations of Buddhas with non-Buddhists, well, non-Buddhists don't have a realization of emptiness. They don't have a perceptual, direct realization of emptiness. Buddha do. So the perfect realization of Buddhas surpass non-Buddhists. Perfect realizations of Buddhas surpass Hinayana and Arya trainees because qualities of perfect realizations of Buddha are stable, whereas it is said that Hinayana Arya trainees are not stable. Why they are not stable? I can just guess. I can just guess that the doc is missing in the file name. Thank you. I think that a Buddha's realization of emptiness is said to be stable because maybe it realizes the emptiness of all phenomena at the same time. Maybe that's the reason. Also, it surpasses those of hears and started to realize is from the point of view of, it is said that when you compare Mahayanists with Hinayanists, although a realization of emptiness of a Hinayanist and a realization of emptiness of a Mahayanist are the same in terms of realizing emptiness, still along the Mahayana you do it with limitless reasoning. Since you're using more reasoning in the Mahayana, limitless reasoning, and in previous modules, Geshe said that this limited reasoning is explained in different ways. You can also say that because it is powered by bodhicitta, it is supported by bodhicitta, it is much more powerful. So it is stable. That's maybe another way that you can do it. Now, just to wrap it up, I haven't understood. So qualities of perfect realizations of Buddhas are that Sugatas, Buddhas, realize all, whereas Hinayana Arhats don't realize all. And kind of this section of the table, I will refine it. I will say what Buddhas realize and what those people do not realize. But this whole section in Getza Dhamma Mention text is comparing the perfect realization and perfect abandonments of Buddhas, of Sugatas, with those who are not Buddhas, in order to show why Shantideva is paying homage to Sugatas. Paying homage to Sugatas, those that have the Dhammakaya. And Dhammakaya is perfect realizations and perfect abandonments, which surpass those qualities of non-Buddhist and also Buddhists, which are not Buddhas, Hinayana Buddhists, for example. So if you have no questions, we might just leave it here for now. Is there a text that explains the different pure realms? I don't know, I've never come across a text like that. Sorry?
On your Buddha bodies, what's the last one?
Okay, let's see. So there's a question in relation to this chart. Various. That's the bridge. Yeah, so yeah, that's the bridge, various Nimanakayas. Now, someone asked yesterday, what was the difference between Supreme Nimanakaya and Beth Nimanakaya? I'm still not very clear in relation to that. Beth Nimanakaya, in one of the texts that I looked at, said that it is like, for example, Buddha Shakyamuni was a Buddha, according to the Mahayana, was a Buddha before. And before coming to this earth, he was in Tushita. So it's like being born in Tushita as Buddha, that's Nimanakaya. I'm not sure that it's not very clear to me. Supreme Nimanakaya is a Buddha that is born, like for example, Buddha Shakyamuni, being born in this world, attained enlightenment, displayed the 12 deeds, and passed into Parinirvana. So some of the things I mentioned now are part of the 12 deeds of Buddha, including also turning the 3 wheels of Dharma. Maybe you can say that there is an overlap between Beth Nimanakaya and Supreme Nimanakaya. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll ask Geshe, maybe he knows. All right. So let's leave it here for now. We're going to do the dedication prayer. I'll put it on the screen. That's not the dedication prayer, sorry. All right. Nyododa lama sangye dogyone dowa chikyam malupa dei salago pasho sancho rinpoche make pamake gyochi kepanyam pame gone gondo pewasho kowe shinkambi dewa malu juene chenre siwante zingyatoi shape sipe tangyo tengyo chi Janchi jangun yawe ten zingyo pewe konzo chosun kowe le monjuro ada sodu gondo shate. Thank you people.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Good to see you. Hi,
Thank
Jude.
you.
Carson.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you, Katzen.
Bye.